I wanted to get some shots of the peacocks and the baby peacocks. So, you're now following Mrs. Peacock and her baby peacocks. And they're running away from us. Well, there they go off into the agility. So, those are the baby peacocks. And here we have the other peacocks. There we have peahen and a peacock without any feathers. So, that's what the little peacocks look like when they get older. We're now here in the pasture down below. Figured I'd show you what this looks like. There's the path going up to the house. Some trees. Went back where we started. Over there is a road. Goes out to our main road, which is behind those trees. Snakes along up the hill. So, over here we have a fort of some sort constructed by some of the kids. This pasture is a great place. It's used by the horses as a dining ground and used by me and my brother for paintball. So, okay, this here is Blossom. So, this is the pony that I was referring to a little bit earlier. And here's Penny again. And Gracie in the back. So, they are all waiting for food, I believe, and they should be fed shortly. So, those are the horses. Welcome to Candle Hill Farm. This is the residence of the Coles. Head up this road here and you'll end up at the Coles house and farm. We'll go up there shortly. Here's the gate, the beginning of the fence. The fence is in 20 acres of farm that they own. So, let's go up to the top of the hill now and see what the farm's actually like.
We are sure that all outside activity...
We're now going downstairs. Down here we have the main hallway. Bathroom. Up there is Pastor Browning. Here's the stairs we just came down. Those are the stairs that will eventually be put on there. Those are temporary. And let's go inside some of the bedrooms here. This is Sam and Luke's bedroom. And there's Sam's bed, and here's Luke's bed. The sheets are being washed. And this is where Damnish sleeps, and that's Sam's desk. And over here we have a closet shared by many people. Moving right along. Fire extinguisher, now you know where that is. And this is Pastor Browning. He is inside Jason And Zachary's room. This is where Jason normally sleeps, and that's where Zachary normally sleeps. But right now, Mr. Browning isn't here. So there's the desk. And a power supply, window. Yeah, more. Monitor. And some stuff. What's that? Hey. In here we have Tucker and Hannah's room. Up here's where Hannah sleeps. Down there's where Tucker sleeps. Here we have Tucker's desk, Hannah's desk, dresser, window, closet, some more storage stuff, and that's that. Nice little room. Tucker painted it herself. In here, we have bathroom. This bathroom's coming along nicely. So there's the toilet and mirror. This one is fully functional, this bathroom. It works. It's great. What an accomplishment. Moving right along. We have the laundry room. The washer and dryer. And here's where Jason is temporarily sleeping. We are now entering the library office complex. And there is Samuel and Luke, who is hiding under some blankets here. They're up. Oh, it's Hannah! Couldn't tell. Here's Luke. And there's Damage coming to the rescue. This is the office here. Some more books. The theater. More books. So that in through this door is the utility room. What's that? Okay. We are now finished touring the house. Hello, sir. Could you tell me what your name is?
Luke.
You're Luke. This is Luke Cole. And Luke, what is your favorite thing about living in Idaho?
I don't know, Roy. Actually, a bunch of things.
Okay. And how old are you?
7.
You're 7 years old. Okay. Zoom out here. That is Luke Cole. Okay, this is Hannah Cole. And Hannah, what is your favorite thing about living in Idaho?
I think. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. How old are you?
9.
9 years old. Okay. Do you like living in Idaho?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for your... This is Samuel Cole. Samuel, what is your favorite thing about living in Idaho?
My favorite thing. Well, the area that we live in, it's really nice. The scenery. All the mountains. And stuff.
Okay. And how old are you?
11.
You're 11 years old now. Okay.
And I've been here 10 years.
Okay. What are your favorite interests?
What?
What are your interests?
Interests? Well, I'd like to join the Civil Air Patrol. It's down in Coeur Lane. But I'm 12. And I'd like to get a hunting license.
Okay. Some goals there. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Now, what is this place you're looking at, Michael?
This is the old Cataldo Mission. I'm going to pull forward so we can see it now. This is one of the first white man outposts in Idaho. There, that's good. And it comes from the old Canadian priests who came down with the fur trappers in the early 1800s, I believe. I'm not sure the dates, but they established this mission with the Coeur d'Alene Indian tribe, and they were converted to Roman Catholicism, and as a tribe remain Roman Catholic to this day. So this is one of the old historic sites in Idaho. There aren't many, but this is one of the oldest. So
In what part of Idaho is this mission?
this is just east of Coeur d'Alene. On the Coeur d'Alene River would flow behind the bluff that the church is based on there. So we're at the base of the Panhandle. If you look at a map, just that narrow little part of the state that goes up into Canada. We're at the southern part of that, about 20, 30 miles east of Coeur d'Alene.
Can you zoom in?
I can do that again. Let's see. Wrong way. Zoom. Go all the way up to it. See what you can see. Okay. You'll note on the mission grounds they have an historic teepee established, set up there, so that you get the context that this was a mission to the Indians. So up that hill, and there would be the church behind those trees. Okay, we have stopped along Route 90, heading east of Coeur d'Alene. We're in what's known as the Silver Valley. We've just passed Kellogg. I'm not sure what this little town is, but what we're seeing are a large number of mining operations on the side of the valley. That's where this area got its name, Silver Valley, from. The moniker of the state is the Gem State. Mining and timber are the only two significant, really significant industries historically that this state has had. Both the timber and the mining are probably on the wane at this point, but still there's an awful lot of evidence of the past here, and you're looking at one of these probably silver mines that we're passing along the way here. A number of them are still in a little bit of operation. A number of them are all closed.
A passenger car dangling over open space and a caboose with 8 people.
Shot. It says recording. It doesn't say snapshot.
Right. Okay.
We're into Montana now by about 150. Where we are is on Lookout Pass, right on the border of Montana. All right, now we're recording. We're at Lookout Pass, border of Montana and Idaho. There's a little ski run here, and we're just pulled off in the parking lot, and you see the machine there for grooming the slopes when there's snow. Obviously, there's not much snow.
And what is that over there? So what's the name of this town, Michael?
Saltese, I think it was.
This is Saltese. And there's the town, right?
That's it.
If you
It's
blink,
as good as it gets.
if you blink, you miss it. House in the town of Saltese.
Okay, here's the local lawn tractor. And I need to do this now. Local lawn tractor, you really do need that to be able to get around in the wintertime particularly. There's some old clear cut.
Look at it.
On film to show that Wayne is actually getting the correct Montana dirt that he needs, because he's going to present this as Montana soil. And then he's picking this up, and it is in Montana. This is Lookout Pass here, and as I pan around, this is important because that sign designates the Montana state line. So I'm turning left, facing south, therefore we're going east into Montana, and that's important because there is Wayne hunting up some rocks, so he actually has Montana soil. All right. Here are our intrepid adventurers who are traveling with Wayne and I this morning. This is the car, and you'll note let's see if I can find it. In the bushes, again, this is very important, that red stake is the Montana-Idaho divide. So,
Right now I'm in northern Washington at the Colville National Forest on the way to the town of Colville where Jim Gosen lives, and it's magnificent driving through these areas where all around there are lakes and stands of trees that seem to go on forever and ever and ever.
I have a sample of most of the models that we build. There are a few more than what we have here, but the center display is, which we will have in the wintertime, they're all burners. And it'll keep this place pretty warm in here.
So this is your lobby showroom.
Yep, this is the entrance.
Huh. So the Quadrifire is what? Is that the trade name or what?
Yes.
That's your trade name.
The
And
original wood stove line that we had, but we incorporated a number of other lines now that are all under Quadrifire name.
Hearth and Home is what? The original name?
Hearth and Home Technology is the parent company of Heatilator, Heat and Glow, and Quadrifire, which is a further subdivision of Han Industries.
Okay. Well, that's enough. Gives me an idea of what's going on.
Then in February of '98, Han Industries bought it, and we then went under the name of Hearth Technologies, and in December 31 this year, it became Hearth and Home Technologies because we have other products now that fit the home. There's home central vac systems, there's air purifier systems that are absolutely amazing, barbecue grills, outside barbecue stuff, islands, and very fancy outdoor living is what they call it. Big.
This is Gary Gosen's house. This is where he and his children live. And over here to the left is the workshop where Gary had a business of building pellets for wood stoves. But now some other fellas are taking it over and building furniture.
Taking those down and made about 3 deliveries
Oh,
already.
so you're going to close this in and
Yep. I was gonna frame this off a section of it for
yeah,
a spray
for
booth,
spray.
but I decided just to leave the whole thing open, just because if we get a big order, it's nice to spray everything
Right,
all in one shot.
exactly.
So.
Neat.
Nathan, this is your own business you're starting up, or?
John and myself, John Smith, which is my
Good.
brother-in-law.
Okay.
Gary was going to be in it at first, but he isn't too active. What would one like this retail for?
Probably about 1,500. For a 10 drawer, probably 1,500.
Wow.
The 5 drawer chests are around 1150 or something like that. The Aspen furniture is about, on average, about 20% more.
A lot of stuff you see is just pines.
Right. But nobody does much aspen around here. It's mainly in your Midwest states where they've got a lot of it. Colorado is really big for aspen.
Some of that wood really has character.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so just looking at those trees out there.
Right.
It's beginning to be one of my favorite woods because it's so easy to work with, and it's so pretty too.
Now you don't put a gloss on that, do you?
No, this is semi-gloss.
Yeah.
There's only one coat on here, so it'll get a little glossier than it is right now.
Do you use spray?
Yep. It's the only way to do it.
And what do you use, polyurethane or?
It's a water-based lacquer, and then I do a polyacrylic on the tops. It's a little more durable. There you go.
That's a real beauty. You designed it?
Yeah, we make our own designs. And like I said, that one's a prototype, so we'll take that down there, and then if they like it, they'll order some more. Sweet.
Aspen is deciduous, or it is?
It's in the poplar family.
Okay.
It's really similar to birch. Most people confuse it with birch. They
Yeah.
don't know what the difference is.
Uh-huh.
But
I've got some small aspen up on my property.
What's this, Jim?
This is one of the old original stoves made by the boys who started Aladdin Steel Products.
And where was Aladdin started?
Way up north of Colville, about 40 miles. We're sitting about probably less than a mile from the Canadian border right now.
Okay.
The guy who started, Danny Henry, his dad Dan, who is Gary's father-in-law, nicknamed it the Nebi for Nebuchadnezzar. It holds so much wood and burns so hot. This isn't the biggest one they built. Call it.
Did be good for a big lodge.
Yeah, but they're so inefficient.
Yeah. You say that it's this building where your company started, actually?
Yep.
Wow.
We have cranked as much as 20 stoves a day out of this place.
Wow.
What they would do is weld them up here and then take them over to a pole shed that we closed in over here across the road, take them one or two at a time in the back of a pickup where they'd go through the painting and the detailing and putting the fire brick in, put a, slap a plastic bag over it, load it on about a 2-ton truck with a lift gate,
Uh-huh.
haul it into town, put it in a storage shed, and then the salesman would come into town every once in a while and load up the truck and head down the road and come back when he was empty. And thus started what is now a multi-million dollar company.
That's America.
Yep.
Did you look up at grandfather's house? They cut back a lot of stuff around his place. They cut this entire side of those plum trees you have gone.
I better go up and check my place here. I need to call and see if I can really do something.
That's Jonathan. Right? That's Jonathan.
Yeah, they didn't get our place. Of course, we don't have any trees around our place. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything to do.
Yeah, I do.
I went on the paint and they found a picture. We even got some filming of a helicopter from right down Deep Lake.
Yeah, picking up.
Yeah.
And that's William.
There's this one picture that guy took a photo of the helicopter jumping over the fire. Another picture of a PUI sitting in the water.
Okay.
Some pictures of the mountainside on fire.
I've been over near a fire when they bring that PUI in that comes in over the trees and turns its siren on, comes screaming in about 50 feet over your head to drop water.
At first you think, those PUIs are pretty big. They were 10 times bigger than that.
I've heard that. I haven't seen those big fire bombs. Big
They had 4 engines on them.
yeah. That is.
Smaller ones would come in before then come down right down to the fire and tell the big plane where to go. Because the big one can't just come around.
Right. They
We would
usually,
watch them.
frequently they'll have either a twin or a single engine spotter plane
They
circling real
had a
high.
couple twins
Yeah,
circling around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Keeping them informed, telling them where to go.
They had they had a couple of them right beside each other picking up water at Deep Lake at one time.
And your name is?
They had
Hi,
this,
Catherine.
Looked like a Coast Guard. What actually wasn't parachuting. What they do is it was Coast Guard. They would come in, they'd lower a cable, a guy would come down, pick up a guy, bring him back up.
Yep.
Search and rescue kind of thing.
Well, why don't we run up to the house for a minute and then come back down?
Okay.
Like this over the fire.
you assemble over here, and then let me take 2 pictures. Would you mind doing that?
Come here, William. Come right over here. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a couple of pictures here.
You have to smile, William.
Everybody look and smile.
You don't like to smile.
We're taking a shot here.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Say cheese, ice cream, Breyer's ice cream especially.
There you go.
Then let me take it with this other one.
Just gonna keep him. And that would be Osa.
That looks like a little bit of Siamese there.
Aunt Terry's dog. Can't remember which one of our dogs. One of our German shepherds.
Oh,
Zeeners, which is the last one, I think.
great.
You remember Wolfgang?
Yeah. Does it do that all
Part-
damn night?
Pretty much, yeah. Destroys everything she can if she's tied up. She's part wolf, part German shepherd. Probably not a very good
Yeah.
mix.
This is the house that Jim Golson is building up in the woods. The outside is pretty much done except for landscaping. There's plenty of firewood on the porch. The garage is done. Interior things have to be finished. And now we're trying to get in to see the interior. There's so much out in the woods that you just come down that little lane in order to come across here to where the house is. The house is really very nicely designed and built. Mostly metal on the outside with vinyl siding and surrounded completely by woods. Some of the woods are tamarack trees, like this very tall, slender tree here. Tamarack is often used as lumber for building houses. Owner locked out of his own house, preparing to break in. So this is the living room, dining room, kitchen, combination of of Jim's very beautiful house. And there is the master designer and architect and builder. And maybe a year from now he'll live here, right?
Could happen. Started building it in '84. I'm not holding my breath.
Wow, man, it goes all the way up. That looks like a crack.
Gary, you got any message for your Aunt Joni?
Yeah, why didn't you come up here? Look at this. You could have seen me. Look. You could have seen me.
That's
Oh, I'm
all.
sorry I missed you. And all the boys and girl. Hi, Steve, Dan, and Kathy. If you ever see this, hi.
I'll pass it on to him. All right. It's great to see you and your kids.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
great being up here. I'm glad you came.
Wish we weren't so far away.
Yeah, it's only 3,000. You should be able to make that trip more often.
Same distance the other way.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right,
There's
man.
2 of you to go. He has five of them to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Take care.
Okay.
He's motioning. We better go.
Yep. Look at this, a little
Yeah,
one.
they obviously don't have any water coming out of that.
And then over to our right. Go ahead, keep going. I'll catch you. No matter what you do, it's going to be an interesting trip. I'll edit out what I don't want. This is a dam on the Pend Oreille River, right?
Yep.
And the Pend Oreille dumps right into the Columbia. Right here on the border?
Just a few hundred yards from the border.
Probably.
Yep. Take a drive up through Rossland and then drop down.
That's a bit of a trip. That's the Columbia River.
The mighty Columbia.
Barely into British Columbia here, and these mountains are vast. They're massive, and the Columbia River down below us. Just such a vast landscape in the town of Trail. And this is what you said is steel plant?
No, I think it's a lead smelter or some kind of a smelter.
Lead smelter.
A number of different things, but it is very definitely a tremendous polluter.
Up there on the hill.
Yeah.
And it's the big polluter of the Columbia River that runs through here. Wow. Town of Trail, British Columbia.
It stretches on. He has to come up here and do shopping all the time.
It just almost seems like an American city.
Oh yeah. That center back there, it's a big curling center. Have you ever seen curling?
No.
I think it's even an Olympic sport now. They have these big heavy weights, round weights that it almost looks like they're starting out bowling. It's all on ice, and they slide along. They have broomers out in front, polishing the ice to make it go where they want it. And it's quite a sport up here. Very interesting. I've watched it on Korea signed him. War memorabilia there. He has a big sign up that's getting closer to Spokane.
We're making. Where's the sign? Ah, there's the sign.
Truck.
I got it before he came.
Domestic type rabbits here just running loose.
Oh, really?
All over the place. And we're about probably 15 miles from.
Ballville River, right?
And it flows on down to the right and drops down there real beautiful dramatic falls, which we can't see from here, nor can we get to it because of coastal land, but then it drops down to the river, which is way down below there.
The Columbia River.
No, that isn't, that's still the Colville, and that flows into the Columbia.
Okay. And there is a hydroelectric plant down there that we
Right
can't
down
see.
here, that's correct. It's right down over here.
This is Douglas Falls. What creek or river does it feed?
I think this is Mill Creek that runs down and eventually dumps into the, let's see, where would that go? That would dump into, I don't know if it go to the Colville River, which then dumps into the Columbia. All of it will eventually feed to the Columbia.
Right.
And this is obviously very low water right now. What are we doing with it?
Well, I guess I'm gonna keep it.
Where are we sitting?
We are sitting in Colville, Washington, at the home of Jim and Sharon, watching the sunset, which is not an unusual occurrence. Unfortunately, the beauty of that sunset is a result, a lot, of a forest fire over there, and that's the smoke from that forest fire that's giving it a lot of its color.
That's a pretty one. That's a pretty one going down. You watch this often, Sharon?
Almost every day.
Not that brilliant.
Yeah, not necessarily those
No.
colors. Why are some of those pictures, you know, like when we took some into the window and stuff like that.
I'll go get it.
No, you go ahead and watch. I'll see.
Oh, I know where to
Well, let's see. Now we pan around over here to the left a little bit. Come here. We see the pastoral scene from their porch, down looking over the beautiful valley, and then the mountains in the background. Quite a cool breeze coming in from the north.
Oh yeah, it'll come in nice and cool pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Then I guess you think about turning the furnace on.
Not yet. Moves pretty fast, doesn't it?
Yep. You can just see the earth moving. Now it's gone. Well, let's do that before it gets too much darker. All right? What you got? Well, Sharon, we are here by your garden, which is showing the end of the season, right?
Right.
What did you have planted in here?
Oh, pumpkin and squash, tomatoes, cabbage, cucumbers, potatoes, lettuce, onions, and flowers.
My.
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb,
And
yeah.
a few precious moment statuettes.
My, this is
And
really great.
Lots of volunteer carrots
Oh, yeah, a lot of carrots, huh?
that had gone to seed last year.
And you put these walkways in here?
Yeah.
That really makes it a very nice place.
Yeah, not your typical trailer park.
Not your typical trailer park, no. That is true.
They have to redefine trailer trash when talking about us.
Well, you certainly have a wonderful view here
Yeah,
with
we
the
might.
mountains to the west and the setting sun over here.
That fence line right down there about 50 yards out,
Mm-hmm.
that is the county line.
Okay.
Beyond that's county, so we're
City.
into the city property,
City
yeah. Well, the city bought it now, but it was officially the county line.
Down there, okay.
So we're clear out on the edge of town.
Mm-hmm. That's just like us. We're the next to the last house in Coatesville town.
Yeah, you can almost see the smoke from the forest fire in that.
The evening
Definitely can.
sky is lit up by the sun reflecting on. Jim, you say the forest fire smoke that's hanging in the air?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you can tell the color.
No, you go to the north, to the south. Here I am looking north, up the Columbia River and the Great Roosevelt Lake, a reservoir created at the building of the Grand Coulee Dam. We are now about 40 miles from the dam, and this reservoir, lined by mountains on both sides as the Columbia tumbles down from Canada. This reservoir is over 100 miles long and is in the most beautiful setting you can imagine. On the other hand, looking across to the mountains, you will notice that many of the trees over there have suffered a forest fire. And though many are standing, they are blackened and brown from the forest fire that has plagued this area. We are now panning down toward the west and then moving toward the south in this magnificent crystal blue lake, looking down toward Grand Coulee Dam. And all of this vast water that has been dammed up is now being sent down through that dam to generate electricity and to provide irrigation for many places in this area. Let's go see the dam. Of course, this reservoir is also used for recreation, though at this point we see almost no one on the reservoir. We see one family, a couple of people recreating down there on these motorized water skis, and they are having a great time on this beautiful placid lake boat, which seems to be moving very, very slowly down across the water of Roosevelt Lake. Fort Spokane was established here in 1880, and here's the livery where horses were kept. And panning around to the other side, we see the hills in the distance, the mountains, as we are approaching Grand Coulee Dam, and then we see the museum, a building established again in the late 1800s. Wheat is combined here in northern Washington late in August, and you'll see there's a combine right now finishing his work and going back to his farm place for lunch. You can see him there from a distance. He's going over to this place here, I suppose, where he lives. And here he comes. Not a large combine. We are looking now down upon the Roosevelt side of the Grand Coulee Dam. Looking straight ahead of us, the dam stretches almost a full mile across the Roosevelt Reservoir as the water cascades down the other side. We've now come right down to the reservoir side of the Grand Coulee Dam, and we look across from east to west as we see the spillways here, and as we see a huge area of the mountain that was chiseled out to prepare for the dam. Let's go and see the other side and see what happens when the water comes down. We are looking here at one of the largest pieces of concrete in the whole world. This vast dam, running very slowly now because of a drought, extends nearly a full mile across this section of the Roosevelt Lake, the Columbia River. In times of heavy flow, great spewing water will come out of some of these areas. This dam is nearly 1 mile long from end to end, and though the water is very low at this time and not roaring as we might wish it to be, it is 550 feet wide at its base and 550 feet high, and one of its 30 turbines can supply enough electricity for the city of Seattle, and one of its giant water pumps can supply sufficient water for the entire city of Chicago. It is a marvel. Outside of Grand Coulee Dam, going south along the Columbia River, is this awesome landscape. It looks like something came through and simply plowed a vast canyon right along these rock areas. And as you can see in the distance, there are more typical mountains out there. But along here, and also along the north side of the Columbia River after it leaves Grand Coulee Dam, we have the same kind of massive rock formations, mile after mile after mile. It is really a magnificent landscape here south of Grand Coulee. And then looking more westward toward the sun, we see what's almost in the shape of a butte as we look out straight over the highway ahead of us. Out here on the high plains above the Columbia River I see these dirt devils, these little cyclones of dirt everywhere out in these vast fields that are primarily given to the growing of wheat. Behind me here is a graveyard, a cemetery right out in the middle of this vast area with very few towns and very low population.
Very good, and I think we've got it screwed up. Once you got that little place, it gives you a place for the tool to rest. So then you have that point of contact, that's one, that point of contact two, and then your arms is three.
Okay.
You know, a stool stands good with three.
Yeah.
You move one thing, it's going to fall over.
Yeah.
So that bevel is just absolutely critical. I'm going to move away from it and start it. Stop right about there, because, wait a minute, we've already, yeah, that's going to become something we've got to grab onto later too. Kind of losing track of where we're at. Let's start out here again and come in one more time. There. Now let's just true that up so we'll have a place to, I'm going to use this tool and just quickly true it up. Get the bevel rubbing again. Back, bring it around till you got a cut, and then bring it to the okay? Does that make sense?
Sure.
Why don't you just do the motion with it turned off? So
Get it
you
to
got
run
the
back
bevel, starting to cut, and you bring it and push it through.
Okay.
Good. Okay, here we go. Okay, bring the handle around. Good. Now you just push it on through. Okay, now when it starts to chop like that, what's happening is it's stopping, it's not cutting like it wants to.
Okay.
And you either need to grab it harder and hold it firmer, or you take a lighter cut. Okay. Stop a second. Okay. Bevel. Good. Now just bring it around. It's really light. Yeah, it doesn't take much pressure at all. The tool will do the work for you. Alright, and just get that bevel again. Good. Get this loop. That's alright. Just so the end of that thing gets real hot.
Yeah.
Right there, and follow it around however you want it. You avoid that is you, instead of pushing harder into the wood, you actually kind of lift it off.
Okay.
So when we say the bevel rubs, that's really inaccurate. The bevel glides along that surface. So what we'll do is we'll start back here. And we'll kind of glide through that. Try to feel the bumpy part there. I'm actually kind of a dynamic tension, pulling it away from the tool, but away from the wood as you go around. Okay, so now we got out that bumpy stuff. Now I'm going to take one swing at this, and then we'll let you haul it. But technically, to get the entry point, you should have that bevel straight in. You create a little lip there for you to work with, and then you come around. You don't notice. You need to stand where I'm standing, first of all. There you go. That's right. That's a good entry position. But what you're doing is you bring the handle in. Okay? Now what's happening happening when it spins around is you're getting over to the other side and it brings it up and over.
Okay.
Okay, so you stop right at the center. You slow down at the center. Open it up a little. Okay. And you need to, you don't drag it across. You follow that bevel around. Yeah, one big long sweeping motion. Okay? And the handle way out there. So there you go. Store it. Now, okay, now you can,
Once you got it stored, you need
then you can open it up. Yeah, then you can open it up a little. Okay? Don't worry about the center. We'll get that later. Good, very nice. Now, a high-pitched squeal is vibration. Yeah, I'm going to finish up. Maybe that'll let me do it. I'll call that good and hopefully let it break off. Not let it chisel off. Yeah, okay. And then I typically put this pad on the drill press. But we'll just do it by hand. Yeah, right now. Again, this is just all the rough and dirty. This isn't trying to do it right. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You betcha.
You like it?
Yeah,